Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Let's cool it! Mga kalabaw! Handa na ba kayo? Metro Manila's greatest hits is back. Ang lahat ng drama, ang lahat ng tawanan, musika at anong paman. Magkakasama pa rin tayo mga kalamaw. Sa lungkot at ligaya, kami pa rin ang iyong paboritong tambayan. Broadcasting live from TVH Group of Networks. Ang iyong hipilan, ang iyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
You are listening to Cool FM.
Live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at Noon.
Good afternoon, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. It is now 12:03 p.m. and this is Cool News at Noon. You are listening to Cool FM nationwide and on News Radio 93.1. Kicking off with the first headlines, 196 individuals are stranded in several ports in the Southern Tagalog and Bicol regions due to the effects of Typhoon Nika, said on Monday, which the Philippine Coast Guard said. The PCG said that as of 8 a.m., 84 individuals are stranded in Real Port, Port of San Andres, Port of Atimunan, Calapan Port, Bule Port, and Palanacan Port in the Southern Tagalog region. A total of 112 others, meantime, are stranded in Pasaka Port and Calaguas Island in the Bicol region, the PCG added. It monitored 18 stranded rolling cargoes, 40 vessels, and 4 motorbangkas, while 4 vessels and 50 motorbangkas took shelter due to the typhoon. Nika has gained strength as it nears the border of Isabela and Aurora province, prompting the issuance of tropical cyclone with signal level 4 in 7 areas in northern Luzon. As of 8 a.m., the Philippine Atmospheric Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration said Nika was last located over the coastal waters of Ilasak, Aurora. The government has sufficient calamity funds available for its use in response to upcoming typhoons until the end of the year, the palace said on Monday. Presidential Communications Office Secretary Cesar Chavez made the statement during an interview after the signing of the new law titled Corporate Recovery and Tax Incentives for Enterprises to Maximize Opportunities for Re-Aid in Vigor during the Economic Act. Chavez said the calamity funds usually run out around September each year, but he also guaranteed that the government has adequate sources of funding. He said, "Inassure tayo ng Department of Budget and Management na may pondo tayo. Totoo na nababawasan sila. Historically, as early as October, sometimes September, ang calamity fund ng national at local na ubos na sila," he noted. Pero laging may pagkukunan ng pundo ang gobyerno at may assurance mula kay DBM na may sapat na pundo para sa susunod na kalamidad hanggang sa katapusan ng December, he added. Malacanan reiterated its directive to private companies that are part of the government's infrastructure programs to reposition their assets that may be needed during times of calamity. Presidential Communications Office Secretary Jason Chavez issued a reminder in an ambassador interview after the signing of the corporate recovery and tax incentives for enterprises to maximize opportunities for re-invocating the Economic Act on Monday. Malinawag sa panggulo ang kanyang instruction at inulit nila ito sa mga government agencies, yung mga private contractors, yung mga trucks nila, yung mga makinarya nila, yung mga private contractors na may kontrata sa gobyerno, DOTR, TPWH, dapat nakapiposisyon na, he said. President Ferdinand Bobong R. Marcos Jr. first made the order in a statement last November 6 when Typhoon Marcel swept the parts of the country. To the TPWH and DOTR, you are on standby for road clearing operations. Use not only your machinery and trucks but also include private companies participating in Build Better More infrastructure programs, he said. In the same statement, Marcos also placed all government agencies under high alert and directed the 24-hour monitoring of bodies of water that might overspill and cause flooding in its surrounding areas. Senator Amy Marcos on Monday called on the national government to strengthen protection of undocumented Filipinos in the U.S. as well as boost defense capabilities and relations with neighboring countries. Marcos, who chairs the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, made the call in response to Donald Trump's win in the 2024 U.S. presidential elections. The Philippines must act now to secure our people, strengthen our defenses, and ensure we're prepared for any shifts in global dynamics, said Marcos in the statement. Marcos pointed out that with Trump's win, over 200,000 undocumented Filipinos now face the threat of mass deportation. She emphasized the need for expedited re-education programs, which include skill trainings, livelihood support, and direct assistance from the Department of Social Welfare and Development, the Department of Labor and Employment, and the Department of Foreign Affairs. However, the senator pointed out that under the 2025 National Expenditure Program, the DSWD only has sufficient funding for 4,152 distressed and undocumented overseas Filipinos next year. Meanwhile, the DFA was only able to assist 72,206 overseas Filipinos last year. We need a plan for these families who may be forced to come home, Marcos said. Marcos also stressed the need for our country to fast-track the Self-Reliant Defense Posture Initiative, a program aimed at manufacturing defense equipment locally and lessening dependence on foreign suppliers. This, she said, would allow the Philippines to be more independent in terms of national defense. In the end, no matter how many and how strong our allies are, we can only depend on ourselves, the Filipinos, to defend the Philippines, Marcos said. Meanwhile, she also noted how the country would now have to further collaborate with its neighbors in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations to address the potential shifts in U.S. foreign policy. Now it's the time to step in ASEAN to strengthen our relations with our neighbors and engage regional powers, so that our interests are safeguarded, she said. According to Marcos, the ASEAN should follow the example of Europe's reassessment of its stance on various policies influenced by changes in the U.S. administration. Meanwhile, to elevate tensions in the West Philippine Sea, Marcos also urged the national government to initiate bilateral discussions with each claimant in the disputed area. There is no other way to maintain peace and stability in the West Philippine Sea but to talk with each claimant, Marcos said. And four officials from the Office of the Vice President who skipped the hearings of the House of Representatives Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability have been cited for contempt and ordered arrested. During the panel's hearing on Monday, Deputy Speaker David Suarez moved to cite for contempt for the following OVP officials: Lomel Aldonio, Gino Acosta, Sunshine Farjada, and Edward Farjada. I move that we cite and condemn these individuals for their continued defiance to attend the committee hearings on good government, Suarez said in his motion. His request was approved by committee chairperson and Manila 3rd District Representative Joe Chua after it was duly seconded. Anti-Police 2nd District Representative Romeo Acop then moved to issue a detention order against the four, with the period of detention lasting until the committee finalizes its report. Committee members have believed the individual cited for contempt would have been the key for the panel's investigation regarding the alleged misuse of public funds by office under Vice President Sara Duterte, the OVP, and previously the Department of Education, DepEd. It's now 12:10. It's now 12:10 p.m. We will return with more news headlines, particularly the international headlines, along with the showbiz when we return here on koolNews at 2. We will be right back.
This koolNews edition was brought to you by Your Ace Supermarket, ang budget-friendly supermarket ng Pilipinas. Now in 6,900 locations around the Philippines and Southeast Asia. Pride Bar Blue, hindi lang puti, kisla puti. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
Star Wax Floor Wax with waterproof formula. Long-lasting shine, Star Wax Floor Wax, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
Fuji Denso Home and Commercial Appliances, where you get reliable, durable, and energy-saving products. Upgrade your usual appliances of Fuji Denso HV inverter appliances. Fuji Denso, quality above all. MX3 Natural Supplements, verified with alpha, beta, and gamma mangosteen. MX3, tunay, natural at original. And TVH, the home of entertainment. Tutok na sa TVH. Available in high definition via Delsat TV. Bisitahin ang youtube.com/@TVH Network PH para sa inyong paboritong mga highlights at live shows. You're listening to Cool FM.
#1 sa Mega Manila.
Nationwide ba?
EXL Makabuhay Plus.
Idol, si Randy Cañedo ang inyong kauban sa radyo. Ako'y pailaila kaninyo ang EXL Makabuhay Plus. Masaligan yun sa tanan. Wala na'y laing mulabaw pa niini. 17 ingredients nga purong herbal o vegan. Daghan ang naghatag na sa ilang mga testimony. Ay mo ang batasan ang pagtumar sa EXL Makabuhay Plus. Buntag, udto o gabi. Aron masigurado na to ang kahimsog sa atong panlawas. May buhay sa EXL Makabuhay.
Makabuhay.
Namiss kita. Ikaw pa rin ang hinahanap-hanap ko. Alam ko you're still the one. Buti na lang, mas affordable na versus previous price. Ang best tasting creamer para sa kape mo. Coffee Mate.
Hirap magpahinga? May mga gamot para dyan. Pero, relax. Mag-efficacent oil. Sa unang amoy at hagod, ramdam ang ginhawa na trusted by all. Unahin ang trusted ginhawa. Unahin ang efficacent.
Methyl salicylate plus menthol plus camphor is a generic name of efficacent oil. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Kung papipiliin kung anong kakainin, gulay-gulay ang aking tanging hilig. Pero repolyo at carrots, masustansya talaga. Broccoli at cauliflower, puno ng vitaminas. Saro, bell pepper at saka sayote. Masarap na iulam, champion na putahe. Mabuti sa katawan, the best sa isipan. Mga gulay ang superstar sa aming kainan. Tara na't kumain at tangkilikin. Gulay na nakahain, huwag palalampasin. Laksan na healthy pa, puno-puno ng sustansya. Gulay number 1.
Ang mensaheng ito ay handog sa inyo ng Department of Agriculture at ng hipilang ito.
Ang Chicken Joy is love.
Ang pinakamasarap, bigger na.
Best tasting na, our biggest pa. Ito ang Chicken Joy, yes. Best tasting na, our biggest pa. Ito ang Chicken Joy, yes.
Starts at 82 pesos pa rin. Price varies. Bigger claim is versus previous size. Best tasting claim is based on quantitative brand and product imagery study conducted by SCMI last November 2023.
Basta para sa anak ko, ito todo buhos ang nutrisyon.
Dahil ngayon, ang Birch Tree Fortified may tripleng tulong sa kalusugan niya. Helps with immunity, bone health, at brain function. With a balanced diet and healthy lifestyle for those aged 3 and above.
Yan ang Lakas Depensa Plus Support Nutrients.
Araw-gabi tayong dalawa.
With Birch Tree Fortified.
Support nutrients refer to vitamins A and C for immunity, calcium and phosphorus for bone health, and zinc for brain function.
Passes the ball, and wow! That's a slam dunk!
Ma, paglaki ko, gusto ko maging basketball player.
Game! Oh, Star Rice at gulay kapanak. May Star Margarine yan.
Ubus ko na. Meron pa po ba, Ma?
Parang basketball player ka na kumain na.
Slam dunk sa sarap eh!
Dagdag sustansya rap with Star Margarine. Tulad ng vitamins A, B, E, and iodine. Star Margarine. Mas abot ang pangarap. Sabayan ng tamang diet and exercise.
Pag edad 50 pataas, pansin mo na ang pagbabago at pagbagal ng katawan. Maaring makaranas ng alta presyon, high blood sugar at paghina ng memorya. Makakatulong ang pag-inom ng Centrum Silver Advance araw-araw kasabay ng tamang pagkain at exercise. Ang Centrum Silver Advance ay may nutrients na in-adjust ang level para sa edad 50 pataas. Tulong suporta sa puso at normal na blood pressure at blood sugar. Napatunayan din na nakakatulong itong ma-improve ang memory habang tumatanda. Alagaan ang katawan with Centrum Silver Advance. This has been manufactured for Centrum. Multivitamins plus minerals is the generic name of Centrum Silver Advance. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Takbo na sa pinakamalapit na Home Along. Cash in or installment, pwede dito. Get a chance to win your dream motorcycle. Purchase any Prestige, Round, and Sakura appliances, and for every 3,000 pesos single receipt, you are entitled for one raffle ticket, making lives better at Home Along. Promo runs to March 31, 2025. Kaya sa Home Along, para na!
Mapagpasalamat. Katangiang Pilipino mula sa puso. Pagpapamalas ng pagmamahal ng Diyos sa ating lahat. Isang pagpapahalaga sa mga kabutihan at tulong na natanggap sa ating buhay.
Salamat po!
Sa lahat ng mga bagay, magpasalamat kayo. Unang Tesalonica 5:18. Mapagpasalamat. Ikaw ay M-Extraordinary Pinoy. Brought to you by MX3 Coffee and Tea.
Baby diaper all night. Baby diaper so right. Have your baby feeling so nice. All day, all night, so bright. Twins Lampino, oh. Twins Lampino, oh.
Twins Lampin Baby Diaper, ang lampin ng bayan. From Megastop Hygienic Products, available in open tape and baby pants.
Get supercharged with BLDT Home Fiber Unli All. Unli mobile calls. Double the speed Unli Fiber versus previous plan. And Unli Signal. Get all these for just $1399. Visit any BLDT Home booth to apply. Get supercharged with BLDT Home Fiber Unli All. Unli mobile calls. Double the speed Unli Fiber versus previous plan. And Unli Signal. Get all these for just $1399. Visit any BLDT Home booth to apply.
At talagang tuwang-tuwa ka pa sa pagligo sa alulod, ha? Umuwi ka ng bata ka at maligo.
Maghugas ka ng maigi, ha? Galing ka pa sa bukid,
Hugasan mo yung kutsara bago mo gamitin. Baka naihian niya ng daga.
Walang pinipiling lugar ang leptospirosis. Sa school, sa daan, kahit pa sa iyong tahanan. Maglinis, magmasid, mag-ingat. Labanan ng leptospirosis. Kung may posibleng exposure, konsul tayo sa pinakamalapit na health facility. Para sa libreng konsulta at reseta, tumawag sa DOH Hotline 1555.
Si Vic Soto po ito. Alam nyo ba, kahit saan ako magpunta sa mundo, ang tanging tinatanggap na premium quality elastomeric paint ay yung gawa sa 100% acrylic. Hindi namumulbos, di basta kumukupas ang kulay, pangmatagalan. Para sa akin, yan ang gold standard. Kaya sa pagbili ng elastomeric paint, siguraduhin yung may tatak na 100% acrylic. Hanapin ang Davis Sun and Rain 100% acrylic elastomeric paint. Basta pintura, hanapin ang tatak Davis.
Cool FM. You're listening to Cool FM.
Number one sa Mega Manila.
Nationwide pa.
Welcome back. On to international headlines. At Mr. Eddie's low routine medical checkup in 2017, the doctor found something suspicious in his liver and warned off his lungs. Further tests showed he had liver cancer and lung cancer. They were both primary cancers, meaning cancer did not spread from one organ to the other. That year, he underwent keyhole surgery for his liver and lung simultaneously to remove the tumors, while Lope in his right lung was also removed. A year later, Mr. Lowe found out he had primary cancer in his prostate. Around the same time, the cancer in his lung had spread to the lymph node within his drugs. He had to go for chemotherapy and radiation therapy. 8 months later, he found out that the cancer in his liver had relapsed. Before Mr. Low found out about his three primary cancers, he had no symptoms. I didn't feel like something was wrong. If I didn't go for a medical screening, I would have probably found out much later, says the 66-year-old retiree who used to work in a church. He is married to a 64-year-old Angela Lowe, who works in the education sector, and they have a 34-year-old daughter. Dealing with the cancers has not been easy. When one cancer appears to be contained, another flares up, he says. November marks Lung Cancer Awareness Month, which highlights the importance of early detection and education around a disease that remains a significant health threat in Singapore. Lung cancer is the third most common cancer in men and women in Singapore. It is the leading cause of cancer death among men and third most common cause of cancer death in women here. According to a 2024 study published in Nature Reviews Clinical Oncology Journal, lung cancer in people who have never smoked is estimated to be the fifth most common cause of cancer-related deaths worldwide in 2023, occurring more in women and Asian populations. Russia and Ukraine both launched record drone attacks on each other overnight, despite a phone call reported by the Washington Post from U.S. President-elect Donald Trump urging Russian President Vladimir Putin not to escalate the conflict. Trump's election to the White House has the potential to upend the almost three-year conflict and has thrown into question Washington's multi-billion-dollar support for Kyiv, crucial to its defense. The Republican said on the campaign trail that he could end the fighting within hours and has indicated he will talk directly with Russian President Vladimir Putin, a major break from the approach adopted by President Joe Biden. On Sunday, the Washington Post reported that Trump had a phone call on Thursday with the Russian strongman in which he told Putin not to inflame the three-trillion war. Just days after his stunning election victory over Democratic rival Kamala Harris, Trump reminded Putin of Washington's sizable military foothold in Europe from his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida, according to the Post. The Kremlin had earlier said it saw positive signals from Trump's willingness to strike a deal, and several people speaking to the U.S. paper said Trump had expressed the desire for more conversations on the resolution of Ukraine's war soon. Trump will not be integrated until January, and for the moment on the battlefield and in the skies, the conflict shows no signs of subsiding. Russia fired 145 drones at Ukraine overnight. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky said more than in any single nighttime attack of the conflict so far. Last night, Russia launched a record 145 Shaheds and other strike drones against Ukraine, Zelensky said on social media, urging Kyiv's Western allies to do more to help Ukraine's defense. Russia also said it had downed 34 Ukraine attack drones targeting Moscow on Sunday, the largest attempted attack on the capital since the start of the offensive in 2022. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said Sunday that the White House was to spend its remaining $6 billion of funding for Ukraine before Trump takes office, warning of the risk of ending U.S. support for Kyiv. While having publicly claimed to be backing Harris in the U.S. election, the Kremlin is widely believed to have actually wanted to see Trump return to the White House, welcoming his skepticism over American aid to Ukraine and his chaotic leadership style. The signals are positive, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said in an interview with state media published Sunday. Trump, during his election campaign, talked about how he perceives everything through deals, that he can make a deal that can lead to peace. At least he's talking about peace and not about confrontation. He isn't talking about his wish to inflict a strategic defeat on Russia that distinguishes him from the current administration, Peskov added. What will happen next? It's hard to say, Peskov said, adding that Trump was less predictable than Harris and Biden. It's also less predictable to what extent he will stick to the statements that he made on the campaign trail, Peskov added. Trump has not said how he intends to strike a peace deal or what terms he is proposing. Russia's President Putin has demanded Ukraine withdraw from switches of its eastern and southern territory as a precondition to peace talks. People familiar with Thursday's call said Trump had briefly raised the question offline with Putin. Following Trump's election, Zelensky warned there should be no concessions to Putin. Sitting line or giving in to any of his other hardline demands would only embolden the Kremlin and lead to more aggression, he said. Zelensky has also previously warned that without US aid, Kyiv would lose the conflict. Talk of a US broker deal comes as Russia advances on the battlefield. Moscow's troops made their largest territorial gains in October since March 2022, according to AFP analysts of data from the Washington-based Institute for the Study of War. Moscow's defense claimed Sunday to have captured another village in Ukraine's east. In his evening address, Zelensky alluded to Ukraine's attempted barrage of Moscow, the largest attack targeting the Russian capital since the start of the conflict. Thanking his forces responsible for drone combat, he said, Russian military objects are becoming more and more accessible to our soldiers. Moscow Region Governor Andrei Voroyov called it a massive attempted strike. It forced the temporary closure of 3 airports, wounded a 50-year-old woman, and set 2 homes on fire in the village of Stranovoyet in the Moscow region, officials said. While the Ukraine capital Kyiv is frequently targeted by massive Russian drone and missile strikes, attacks on Moscow are far less frequent. Mexican authorities said Sunday that they have found more than 250 migrants crammed into a double-trailer truck heading towards the U.S. border. Immigration agents backed by members of the army made the discovery on Friday at the checkpoint in Chihuahua State, the defense military said. The migrants of various nationalities were transferred to immigration facilities to check their status while the driver was handed over to the public prosecutor's office, it said. Thousands of migrants fleeing violence and poverty travel across Mexico every year to the U.S. border. Transporting migrants hidden in overcrowded trucks is one of the most dangerous methods used by people smugglers. Haiti's transitional council has moved to replace Prime Minister Gary Conille, according to an official Gazette bulletin seen Sunday by AFP, as a power struggle threatens to plunge the crisis-wracked nation into fresh chaos. The 9-member council's decision, dated for publication on Monday, November 11, seeks to push out Conille after just 5 months in office and replace him with businessman Alex Didier Feliz-Alim. The bulletin states the council agreed by consensus on November 8 to revoke Conille, a former UN official and academic camp inmate, to lead the struggling Caribbean nation as it confronts soaring, long-standing political instability. Conille, 858, has sent a letter to the Transitional Council asking for the decision not to be officially published, according to a copy obtained by AP. The two sides have been locked in a power struggle for weeks, with the council wanting to change the ministers of justice, finance, defense, and health against the prime minister's wishes, according to the Miami Herald. And Conille sent the council a letter this week seeking the resignation of 3 of its members accused of corruption. It was not immediately clear if the council, whose members represent various political and civil society groups, even has the power to dismiss Conille. And finally, onto showbiz. Taylor Swift led the way at the 2024 MTV Europe Music Awards in Manchester on Sunday, picking up 4 awards on the night dominated by female artists, including Tyla and Sabrina Carpenter. The ceremony's 30th edition, which brought the biggest names in world music to Northwest England, saw Swift take home trophies for Best Artist, Best Live, Best US Act, and Best Video for her collaboration with Post Malone in Fortnite. In the pre-recorded message, Swift expressed sadness for not being able to attend in person, but said the honor was just unbelievable. Tyla won 3 awards, including for Best R&B, while Carpenter won the Best Song. British singer Rita Ora hosted the awards, which were held in Britain for the 7th time. Swift, whose ongoing Eras tour is the most collaborative in history, was nominated in 7 categories following the release this year of her 11th album, The Torture Puppets Department. In the Best Artist category, she went up against compatriots Beyonce, Billie Eilish, and Post Malone, and British star Rye, who won a record 6 dongs at this year's Brit Awards. Carpenter, one of the stars of the summer with her hit Please, 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 completed the list of nominees. While Swift won that category, Carpenter's Espresso took Best Song, outshining Eilish, Birds of a Feather, Beyonce's Texas Hold'em, Beautiful Things by Benson One, Chappell Ron's Good Luck Pepe, and We Can Be Friends by Ariana Grande. As with the U.S. music industry's Grammy Awards, Latino artists, including stars such as Puerto Rican Bad Bunny and Colombian Karol G, were left out of the top categories this year despite their global hits. Both were contenders in the Best Latin field, alongside Shakira, who has relived her career with the hit Verb Music Sessions Volume 53 about her separation from ex-footballer Piqué. Other artists who picked up awards in Manchester included Lisa of the ultra-popular K-pop group Blackpink, Ariana Grande, Eminem, and Liam Gallagher. Busta Rhymes received a Global Icon Award. This was the first MTV Euro Music Awards since 2022 after last year's edition to be held near Paris was cancelled because of the war between Israel and Hamas. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 12:30 p.m. and that is all for Cool News at noon. As always, we will return at 4 p.m. for more news and headlines. You can also send us your comments, suggestions, and feedback at tvhphilippines.news@gmail.com. I am Cairo, and this is Cool News. We will see you later at 4 p.m. Take care and mabuhay. Goodbye for now.